Hi, my name is Amy Lynch, and I'm the founder of Mixing Babies and Business. Thank you for tuning in to this video. I just wanted to explain a bit about how this all got started. So I've been a parent of two young kids for a few years. I became a parent in 2016. And at the time, I was working as a remote worker and freelancer in Europe for a company that was in Australia. And so I was used to going places by myself, working from spaces, some unconventional spaces, and going to networking events alone. And when I had my son, I was living in England, and I decided to keep going places and bringing him. And I was fortunate that I got into a startup program, and I started bringing him from the age of 4 weeks onwards. And what I didn't realize after that program finished up was that it was a bit of a novelty and that not many people were bringing their kids into business spaces. So I discovered this because I was continuing to bring them to things like startup conferences. When we relocated to Canada, I brought him to my job interview there, and I went into a consulting firm, and they used a boardroom office room for the interview, and I kind of caught them off guard at the start, I think, but I brought my toddler with me, and he did all the things that toddlers do. He threw his Cheerios and tried to go through all these chords in the office, and I just kept answering their questions, and at the end of it, I got the job. So I'm used to making myself uncomfortable and bringing my kids alongside me. And at the time, I was doing it because I didn't really have another option. I didn't have regular childcare, and I was also breastfeeding my children early on when they were born. So I was physically attached to them as well. So I just continued to bring them into business spaces to pitch and present with them alongside me. Sometimes I would be feeding them, sometimes not at the same time, but sometimes I would be holding them. I did a lot of pitching like this and presenting like this, or having a child in my arms, or baby wearing while speaking. And so I got a bit frustrated because all these places I was going into either didn't have baby change tables, most of them didn't. They were surprised to see me, but I felt like I should still be able to enter the building and get the information that I needed. So instead of complaining about it exclusively and just, voicing my concerns or trying to suggest things or ask questions, I also set about to create my own parent-friendly professional development where you would have a children's play area, and it would be at a time of day that was easy for you to get to the building. There would be parking there, so you didn't have to worry about how am I going to get my stroller in and out of the car or my car seat in and out of the car. It would be accessible, so there would be an elevator, or there would be a baby change table in the facility for you. So I set up these pop-up events in startup spaces in a local college and in a startup incubator business accelerator space in Ottawa, Canada, where I live. And I just started advertising these events, and parents came, they brought their kids. I didn't offer childcare, but I offered a play area. I fed people, and I introduced them to guest speakers that were experts on topics like intellectual property, marketing and sales, financing your business, financial literacy, operations. So what I found was people were really receptive to this because it was designed for them. And when the pandemic happened, I continued to write to this audience of parents regularly through my newsletter and design resources for them. And while I have done some virtual events, I know that it's not just the events and the content that's important to people, it's also the connection. So I am, in addition to creating the podcast in the last year, where I interview business leaders and entrepreneurs who also happen to be parents, I want to connect you with other parents who are going through the same thing as you. So I'm happy that you are joining me and have joined this movement and are either subscribing to the newsletter or listening to this podcast. the Mixing Babies and Business podcast have maybe tried out some of our digital resources. We have a time blocking template and a remote work with kids mini course. And I really hope that you can continue to show up as yourself, your full self, kids and all, and we can be a safe space for you to invest in yourself alongside your loved ones. So thanks for listening, and I look forward to learning more about you.